This week, we nerd out about all kinds of fun things, including the McFarlane Super Powers action figures. We talk about the latest Avengers Doomsday news and how that's going to affect all kinds of stuff happening over in the MCU. We talk about the many trailers coming for DC, Marvel, and tons of other places, and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we're back to talk about all the fun things happening out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump into any of that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week?
This week I've been nerding out about Mobile Suit Gundam.
Nice.
It's a show that I watched when I was a kid on Adult Swim, on Toonami. I saw the edited version of that, and I saw most of the episodes, but never watched them like in order or like all the way through and unedited. So I found out recently that all the episodes are on YouTube for free by a Gundam company called Gundam Info. And Sunrise, which is like the anime company that put them out. And I've been watching through them. I didn't remember how much politics are in it until like watching it this time. And now I'm like, oh, I understand this way more as an adult than I did as like a kid for sure, which makes the show a lot more impactful, but like also cool giant robot Gundam suits are to watch. And my kid likes the big Gundam suits, so he likes watching it with me too, even though he doesn't understand anything that's going on.
That's
which
awesome.
is fine. Like I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's fun. It's kind of like a blast from the past, and it like also makes me want to watch like other Gundam series. So I'm probably gonna wind up doing that at some point or another. As long as I don't get into like making like the models. Like, have you seen those models?
Yeah, I have seen those.
They're like super complicated to like put together, I guess, like with glue and
Right.
all. Like, yeah. But as long as I don't get into that, I'll.
That's really cool. I had some friends in college who were so into those. And yeah, there's so many of them. That would be a lot. Let's see. I am nerding out about those McFarlane Kenner Super Powers remake action figures. They made one final wave of them a couple of months ago, and you can only get them exclusively on the McFarlane website. And I missed the boat, completely missed the boat. But I'm part of their email list, and he's doing kind of like an advent calendar type email thing. So every day in December, he's sending out an email that has some kind of new deal for the day or whatever. And I think it was day 2. The email said they're re-releasing that final wave that were hard to get. And they were also at a discounted price for the whole wave. And so when I saw that email, I went over to it and they were not sold out, and I grabbed them, and I was very happy about that.
What characters were in the wave?
So it's the final wave, which is such a bummer because I loved hunting those things, but they're done now, I guess. It was Deadman, Cyborg, Animal Man, and Nightwing, but with the big giant popped collar and the blue out and gold outfit.
Oh, with the tassels?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They actually, speaking of like retro figures, they just released the wrestling LJN figures, like the big rubber ones. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
They like don't move at all. They're just rubber, like giant figures. And they re-released at Target now exclusively. But you can get Hulk Hogan, Logan Paul, John Cena, and Dusty Rhodes. And they're really cool. I'm actually thinking about getting them.
That's awesome. Well, let's see. There's a ton of news this week. Well, over with Marvel, this week, the Avengers Doomsday trailer is finally going to be released.
Thank
It's
goodness.
supposed to be here Thursday. I know. I'm real excited. And this isn't a Marvel bit of news, but the Supergirl trailer is also supposed to be released on that same day. So I'm pretty pumped about both of those coming out this week.
I saw the poster for that Supergirl movie. They released
Yeah.
it today.
It looks pretty awesome. And let's see. Speaking of Avengers, they're going to re-release Endgame in theaters pretty soon, and I've read that it's going to have a brand new post-credits scene that's going to lead directly into Doomsday. And it didn't say what the scene's going to be, but I'm starting to come up with theories in my mind, because if his whole drive is being angry at Steve Rogers for going back in time and creating all these incursions with the stones and everything, what if it shows that same exact scene where we saw Steve and Peggy dancing to the soft music and that's the end? But at the end of that scene, some kind of TVA type window thing opens up and they've got to get him out of there, or it's Doom himself, or whatever the case may be. I wonder if that's the kind of thing they're going to do.
I don't know, that'd be kind of wild.
I know. Literally show the same scene that they've already shown us, but add something to it.
Yeah, I'd feel kind of gypped. I'd
Yeah.
be expecting a whole brand new scene if I'm going to go see that movie in the theaters. Spend the money on it again.
Right? Yeah. And yeah, the other thing I saw with Doomsday is that they keep talking about how important Captain America is going to be in this movie, but it sounds like Loki just might be the main protagonist in this movie. And they haven't really been hyping that up, but there's a lot of reports saying that based on the stuff they've been reading, he's going to have more than just a, background cosmic entity role in this movie. And that makes sense to me. Over with Spider-Man Brand New Day, it sounds like they have finished filming that movie, so they've just got to put their finishing touches on it. That's going to be cool to finally see.
When's that come out?
I think summer 2026,
Okay.
and then winter 2026 is when we get Doomsday.
Okay.
I was also just reading a thing about The Punisher, that special that's going to be coming, and John Bernthal said that when he shows up in Spider-Man, basically in the same month, Disney Plus is releasing that Punisher special, and it'll be as if he walked right off of the set of Spider-Man and right onto the set of that show. That's how connected he said they are.
Okay. So it
So that's
goes
pretty cool.
Daredevil Reborn, then Spider-Man, then the Punisher special?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited to see them connect these guys together.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting that the Punisher will be in like the MCU as a whole.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man stuff, we know that they keep delaying Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, I think until 2027 at this point, but they also just announced that there's going to be a spin-off of Spider-Punk, just a whole movie about him and his world.
I saw
And I
that
think that'll be
actually.
kind
It'll
yeah.
be interesting.
And I don't know if you've seen it. There hasn't been a trailer yet, but Amazon keeps dropping all these quick little TV spots of the new Spider-Man Noir series. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, I have.
The latest one, it just shows the door to his, I guess, private investigation agency, and you see his silhouette behind the glass, and he shoots webs out of his hands, and that's all they show you. There's no trailer. It's just a cool image. But also, it showed that he's going to be the Ben Reilly version of Spider-Man because his name was on the door. But yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be interested to see Nicolas Cage pull that off live action.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm on the fence about that whole
Yeah.
thing.
It might just wind up being fun for fun's sake. I don't know. I don't know how great it'll be.
Yeah, I
But
just
we'll
feel
see.
like it's going to go into like the whole Morbius category of movies.
Right. This will be the most Spider-Man-ish thing they've released, though, so maybe they'll be all right.
Yeah, possibly.
The final thing I have this week with Marvel is that there was a report that came out about the early drafts of the new Fantastic Four movie. It sounds like, obviously, before all the Jonathan Majors drama went down, Kang was going to be a very big part of the MCU as a whole. But from what I read, it sounds like the Fantastic Four were originally in our same MCU universe, but 70 years in the past. And Kang, at the end of their first movie, is going to have imprisoned them in the negative zone, which works kind of like the quantum realm. So then it was going to mash up with the stuff that went down in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where they defeated Kang in that movie. And once he was defeated, it would have released them from the negative zone. But it sounds like they would have only been in there for 2 weeks, but to them it would have been 70 years. And then they would have emerged in the MCU to the present day of where we all are. But they scrapped that all together to go with what they did go with the whole Doctor Doom stuff that we're going with. So anyway, it sounded interesting when I was reading that, and I wonder how different the movie would have been as a whole.
Probably a lot different, I would assume.
I wonder if they would have done still all the same stuff they did. They would have just had to pose it as if it was 70 years in our past.
Yeah.
And then it would have ended with Kang trapping them in the negative zone. But anyway, it was just an interesting read, and it's crazy how all these things in real life have ripple effects that affects these stories.
Yeah, sometimes it sucks.
Well, over with DC, as I mentioned earlier, the Supergirl trailer also comes out this week. By the time you guys are listening to this episode, you should be able to watch that. I'm super excited to watch it. I wonder what kind of cameos we're going to get in that movie, other than we know, obviously, Supergirl's in it, Lobo's in it, all these other characters that we've known are going to be in it. But I wonder how many from Superman and other DC projects are going to show up in it.
You'll probably get Superman.
I'll bet. And obviously, she left with Crypto at the end of that movie, so I'm sure Crypto will be in this movie some.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure you get Crypto, maybe a Lex Luthor.
Yeah, see him in a prison scene or something.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all the Superman stuff, a few days ago, there was an article talking about all the front runners who might play Brainiac. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about some people that have been rumored to be in the talks or whatever. But this latest article says currently the people in negotiations right now are the agents for the actor Matt Smith, who plays Doctor Who. So Matt Smith might be Brainiac, and I can totally see it actually.
Yeah, I could see Matt playing Brainiac. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah. The Penguin series that recently came out that won a handful of awards. Well, they've officially announced season 2. So people have been talking about it. Is there going to be one? Is there not going to be one? But it was officially announced that season 2 will happen for that show. So that's good. That was such a good show. I
Good
can't
for
remember. Did you ever wind up getting to watch it?
No, I didn't finish it. I started it, but I don't know if it.
That's if you find yourself not with something to watch, that's a good one to watch.
Yeah, I got like a bunch of time this holiday season coming up with where I'm
Yeah.
at the house, and Lauren will be in Illinois. So I have a
Okay.
handful of things that are on my list to watch and do
Nice.
with my free time.
Well, the Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson, we know that that's coming. They just announced that Scarlett Johansson is playing a major role in this movie. And the rumors are saying she's playing the character Andrea Beaumont. And I don't know if that name rings a bell, but if you can think of Batman the Animated Series, Mask of the Phantasm movie, that's the woman who winds up being the Phantasm character in that animated movie. So that'd be kind of interesting if they pull in the Phantasm character into live action.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Wonder what that would look like.
Oh, I know. I wonder if they would keep it as, basic as it looked. It looked kind of like the Ghostface from Scream, kind of, but
Yeah, kind of.
with an interesting metal mask. But yeah, if that's even who she is playing, that's just the latest rumor. That'd be pretty cool, though. The final thing I have with DC is this whole Warner Brothers acquisition that's trying to happen right now. This past week, it sounded like Netflix was the highest bidder, but something I literally saw this morning before we started is that Paramount threw out an even higher bid.
Yeah, I saw that. I wonder what that means for. Well, AEW wrestling is on HBO Max. And I
Yeah.
just realized that that's part of that whole thing too.
Yeah.
And Netflix has WWE on it, so I wonder what would happen with AEW since they're competitors. I wonder if they will get left out of the deal, or you know what I mean?
Or if somehow it's all under the same umbrella suddenly. That'd
Yeah,
be weird.
that would be so weird.
But one of the nice things is someone asked James Gunn, how is this going to affect the DCU moving forward? And he said it isn't. So that's good. That was good to hear. His plans are staying the same regardless
Yeah,
of who owns
that
Warner
is
Brothers.
good.
Well, over with Star Wars, not a ton of news, but the 50th anniversary of A New Hope is coming up pretty soon. And it sounds like they're going to re-release the original cut of the movie in theaters to commemorate that. So
That'd
that'll
be
be kind of fun
awesome.
to go watch. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it without all the bells and whistles with technology since I was little.
I saw it in theaters when I was really, really little, right before they did the changes.
Yeah.
They were re-released in the theaters. I remember that, but I was like really little.
Yeah. Let's see. Elsewhere out there in the pop culture universe, there's been a lot of trailers that dropped this week. Did you have a chance to see the trailer for The Boys season 5?
I did not. I saw that it was out. It's in my queue.
It looks pretty awesome. I'm excited to see there's this scene in the middle of it where Homelander is just bashing in somebody. Like he's punching the mess out of somebody, but blood is not going everywhere. So whoever he's fighting must be very, very powerful. And there's already fan theories out there that it was his son, with the same powers as him. There's other fan theories that it was Soldier Boy who was in that suspended animation state. But knowing it's the last season, I'm wondering if a show like this is going to end with good guys prevailing or if it's going to end in a not so happy way. Just think about this show as a whole,
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it ends good.
That's what I was thinking. But either way, I'm excited to see how they end it. Is it going to be the end of Homelander? Is there going to be a worse villain? Who knows? The first trailer for the live action Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2 is out. It sounds like one of the big things about Season 2 of the animated series is we get introduced to a fan favorite character, Toph. So you can see Toph live action for the first time in this trailer. That was really cool. For how animated/anime adaptations over into live action goes, this one was pretty good. So I'm excited to see season 2. And I'm really excited that we've already talked about this a little bit, but they announced that season 3 is not only happening, they're finished with it. So we're not going to be left on some random 2 out of 3 season cliffhanger. We're going to get to see the whole series, and I'm pretty happy about that.
That's awesome.
Speaking of all these trailers, there's a rumor that the live action Masters of the Universe remake trailer is supposed to come out at the end of this week as well. So by the time you guys are listening to this episode of the podcast, that might be available. Just go to your Google machines and type it in if you want to see it. And if it's not out, my bad, but this was just a rumor. But it sounds like we might get to see that one as well. I'm kind of excited about that too. I hope this one's done well too. As for new series, there's a Game of Thrones prequel coming. Another prequel, kind of like House of the Dragon. Yeah, I know. Kind of like House of the Dragon, but it sounds like this one goes back even farther, and it follows a couple of knights, and the name of the series is A Knight of the Seven Kingdom. But they just released a trailer for that as well.
All right.
Oh, here's something I didn't know. There's going to be a live-action Scooby-Doo series coming to Netflix, and classic cream-of-the-crop voice actor Frank Welker is going to reprise his role as the voice of Scooby-Doo in this series. So that's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
For fans that are excited about this Spaceballs sequel that's finally coming decades later, they just announced that they have finished filming, and it was Josh Gad that posted this really cool picture of the whole cast. And every time they post a picture, it makes my heart so happy to see Rick Moranis in these pictures as an old man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so excited to see him back in a movie, and maybe this opens the door to him doing more stuff again. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd like to see a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. And maybe with his grandkids or something.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said it out loud, because if it happens,
No.
you keep throwing all these great ideas out there, and then they happen like a year or two later.
What can I say?
Well, let's see. They just announced that a Men in Black 5 is going to happen with Sony, and Will Smith is returning. So I don't know if you ever saw the 4th one with Chris Hemsworth.
No, I did.
It wasn't the best.
I've heard things. I've heard that
Yeah.
it's just fine. It's one of those that I'm like, okay, whatever. It happened,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's exactly how to describe it.
Like, I didn't like the third one
Oh,
either,
okay.
so I thought the third one wasn't that good.
I'm a sucker for time travel.
Yeah, I can tell you a funny story about that movie. I fell asleep in the theaters. It's one of the only movies I've ever done that, but I was like working like a lot at the time.
Yeah.
And not really sleeping a ton, and I got super comfortable and just passed out.
Yeah. Hey, it happens.
It does happen.
I used to give Emily a hard time about her expensive naps, but now we have kids and I get it. Let's see, the final thing I have this week is I've been continuing to watch the Welcome to Derry series, and that show has been crazy.
Well, yeah, I forgot that ad came out. I'm glad that it's good. That'll be probably one of the ones I watch without the kid around.
You totally should. And this weekend is already the finale, so by the time you get to do that, you'll get to binge the whole thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll probably put that on the list for sure.
It's really cool how they've tied it into so much Stephen King lore, not just it. It's got connections to, well, obviously the future It movies, but it has connections with The Shining and Dr. Sleep and Shawshank Redemption and a few other things that you'll kind of catch as you watch. And then it's also cool seeing some of these young people and then connecting the dots as to who they're connected to from the future It movies. Yeah, it's so good. And Pennywise is freaking ruthless. I think my favorite aspect of the series is it's okay. So obviously the creature sleeps. He wakes up and does this thing and then sleeps for 27 years. And then he wakes up and does this thing again and then sleeps for 27 years. So this movie is 27 years before It Part 1.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away because you're going to watch it, but a lot of stuff happens that makes some of the stuff he does able to happen in the movies.
Okay.
And then we also see he shapeshifts into things that people recognize, like people from their past and blah, 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 blah. You actually get to see the origin of why the heck does he shapeshift into this Pennywise the Clown. You get to see the actual human Pennywise the Clown that he mimics and becomes or whatever. And it's crazy and it's awesome.
Okay.
Let's see. With video games, I didn't see a ton, but it sounds like Bethesda Games just announced that Fallout 5 is in the works. So for people who love that franchise, you're about to get another game of that. That'll be fun.
Awesome.
Did you happen to have anything with video games or wrestling this week?
Not video games, but I do wrestling. This weekend is John Cena's retirement match on Saturday night's main event. So it'll be his very last match ever. So Bring the tissues. It'll be on Peacock if you want to watch it, and it'll be that match, and then there'll be 3 other matches focusing on the future of WWE, so a lot of NXT matches. So that's what he wanted to do, is do like the future of WWE, kind of to give back or whatever. So we're really excited about it, but we're also sad.
Yeah, it's always sad when there's this piece of entertainment you love and it's about to have a massive change.
Yeah, and it's like somebody described it as watching Superman retire. It's like
Yeah,
this really weird. It's a really weird because he was like a baby face like forever and ever, and even like his heel turn didn't do well. And he went back to being
yeah,
a baby face, and he's the guy who could do these crazy feats of strength, and he was always a shining light. It's just yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
yep. Well, hey guys, that is all of our new news for this week. We know we're approaching the holiday season, and I'm sure soon we'll talk about that kind of stuff. But we hope you guys are out there watching all the good, fun stuff, listening to all the good music, playing the cool games, watching the good movies. But as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor channel, same Taylor time.
Bye.
Bye.